Welcome to the Craig Mostyn Group 15-minute learning. IT training designed for the Craig Mostyn Group by Tiles. This course is PowerPoint 2, an introduction to animation. We'll look at text animation, chart animation, animated gifs, and animated objects. So let's run through some animations, and then after seeing them on the screen, we'll work back through them and work through how they were built. Just one thing to remember if you are building animations into your PowerPoint is keep them simple and don't overdo them. So the collection I've got here, you probably wouldn't put together all in one presentation. These are just examples. But using these animations in a subtle way can bring some life into your presentation. So let's run this page first of all. Comes up with the background, and when the presenter is ready to click, it comes up with the words one line at a time. This is an introduction to animation. So rather than throwing all the words up on the screen in one go, this is quite a nice way of making people take notice of what you're saying one part at a time. So having a look at how this is done, we click on our text and make sure we've highlighted the text box, and then we can go back and look at the animations under the animation tab. We've chosen float in, and there's many of these that you can choose, and we've looked at the effect options. So to make the words come up one row at a time, we've selected by paragraph, and we've also selected on click. So that means we can control that slide completely. So when it's run, we get the plain background, click, get the first row, click, second, third, and fourth. So moving on, we're going to look at animating a chart. In this example, a pie chart. So let's run the animation. Background, do a click, bring up the series, do a click for each part of the pie. Clearly quite useful to describe each part as you go along without showing an audience everything in one go. So again, how is that done? Work on the pie itself first of all, the pie chart. And just note, if you right click on that, you get a menu. In this case, the data is just built into the presentation. So I can click on edit data and put my information in here whenever I want. So if I do a new one next month, and I can just very quickly change the figures there. Now, selected the pie again. You can see we've selected this, and we're going to look at the animation option. And this time I've chosen a wheel. Obviously a wheel goes quite well with a round pie chart. And the effect option I've chosen by category, so that it will run all of these independently. Again, over here we're saying start on click. You could automate the whole thing by just saying with previous and changing the duration. But I want it to come up, each part to come on when I've selected on click. So let's run it again. Remember, we've chosen the wheel under animation and the effect option by degree. And there's a little demonstration of how it will behave. And similarly, when we run that slide, it pauses here, waits for my click to bring up the basic series, and then presents the information on each click. And now we have a series of slides showing the animated charts methods that we've already seen, and added to that is a feature called animated GIF. Animated GIF is just a way of displaying a special picture in PowerPoint that the picture actually moves. So to do this, I've gone to say insert a picture and gone to online pictures, and then I'm just going to type in animated GIF first. So it says I'm going to search for it, search for an animated GIF, and I wanted to search for one about fish. And it will go off and search the web and come back with a selection. I'm going to say show all here. And some of these will work great, some may not work at all. So it's a question of trial and error. You can see here I've chosen this green fish, and then I just insert that like any other graphic, any other picture that you would use. So I've inserted that in here, and then I can, don't want to move that one around, I want to move this one around. I can make it bigger and smaller, just the same as any other graphic. But when I run the PowerPoint, when I run the slide, you'll see what happens. The slide runs normally, and the animation built into the picture, built into the animated GIF, will run on its own. And it just loops around and continues to run whilst you select the other items that you've already built into that part of the presentation. So that one gives us our fish sales. Done a similar one. I've gone and inserted an animated GIF kangaroo. And I'm clicking on to get a different pie animation. That works in exactly the same way as the previous one. I've just chosen a different view of a pie chart. And the next one, we've got an animated GIF of some veggies. And as I click in, I get a different view of the pie chart again. So we'll stop it there and have a look at what we've done. So we've seen that pie before. You can go out onto the internet, go out to your browser and just search animated GIFs. There's many free ones out there that you can just select and copy and paste into your PowerPoints. This slide here, all I've done is I've right-clicked on the chart and I've changed the chart type from where we were previously, which was this one, to the circle. Left all the rest of the animation the same. And The kangaroo, that's just a GIF. You can see the size of it, and it will run from there to there. Just built into that image, pasted in from the internet. And again, on this one, I've right-clicked the pie chart. I've said change what it looks like, and I've chosen that one instead of that one we had originally, the 3D one. Lots of different ones you can choose. Some will work better than others. So that's a sequence using animated GIFs and animated charts. Again, I probably wouldn't use them both on the same page, but it does illustrate the sort of things that you can do. Here we're going to look at a different chart, and it's using very much the same techniques as previously, but I think it's well worth showing what can be done using animation, and what could be a complicated chart could be more complicated than this, and enabling you to explain each bit of it as you go along. So let's just run it. Again, we get the background, we get the chart and the series. Now the first click is giving me the first part of the series, so January for fish, then Feb, March, April, May. And you can see you could talk about that as a chart in its own right, and then go on to talk about meat per month. And maybe you want to compare that with the fish. And then finally, when you finish talking about that, move on to the last part of the series, which is veg. And you can talk about that and numbers and so on. So really with just one graphic, just one chart, it enables you to go through a whole part of a presentation just on the one slide. So that's built up. We'll click on the chart here, and you can see that we've chosen wipe, and the effect options, we've said we want to see that in a series. Now, of course, with wipe, there is a range of methods: wipe up, down, right, or left. So here is a wipe up methodology. So with the chart selected, we've chosen the animation under the animation tab, and effect options. In this case, we want to see element in the series, and we also want that wipe direction to be up from the bottom. And that's all we need to do to allow us to run each part of that on click as we go along. So now, to finish off the session, let's have a look at moving some words around very simply, and then some options to be more artistic, shall we say, with the way you can move objects and words around. So here we have a text box, and I've selected text box, so I've got that line all the way around it. It means I'm working on that. We've chosen the float in option. Effect options, do we want it to go up or down? So we've chosen up, and by paragraph. It behaves somewhat like that. Now note this little drop down here, show additional effect options. So we can do other stuff with this. So we can say show it all at once, by word or by letter, percentage delay between letters, whether you dim or not change colour when you've seen one. You can actually choose a sound to play in between each one, and that's you can affect the time in there, whether it's on click or automatically or whatever you want to see. So we've done a load of things to that text there now by using this drop down to get this menu. Let's OK that and see what it does. So that's it showing you from within the animation. Let's see what happens when we load the slide. Click to start it off. Click for the next one. Click for the next one. So I didn't think much of the bomb animation, but there we go. So that's all sorts of things you can do using the effect options. Let's see if we had something different to have a camera click rather than a bomb going off. And you get that sort of effect. So quite simple. Once you've got that selected, you can choose your animations from the animation tab, the effect options, the sequence, and then further details from within here. Now this one, let's run the animation for this. Waits for the click. In comes some words, and then fade in each line as you click. So how was that one done? Well, what we've done here is we've put the words outside, so the text box we've put outside of the page of the slide itself. And the effect option that we've chosen this time is lines. And with each of these types of lines, the different ones you can choose, you've got a green for the start of the line and a red for the end of the line. So I've chosen it to start here. See where that green triangle is? And I've chosen it to end there on the red triangle. Similarly, with the kangaroo graphic, that's also on a line starting green to red. So let's see what happens when we run that one. In comes the title, animated objects, waits for the click. In comes the kangaroo graphic. So that's those two run together. Click for an introduction. Click to bring up item 1, item 2, item 3. Wait, click again. Bring in the animated object text using the line, followed by the kangaroo graphic using the line animation. So there we are. Lots of different things you can do, and really, with all of this, you can go off and play and see what happens if you change it. What if I change it to an arc? I don't know. Let's see what happens. In comes my text. The kangaroo's not even there. So let's find out where he's gone. That's my arc. So I want him to end up. I'll take my arc and get him to start and finish in a different place. There we are. I'm going to run that now. in comes the words, and then the kangaroo moves around in that arc. So again, lots and lots of choices, lots and lots of things to work through, to play with, to get the sort of effects that you're. Thank you for completing the course. Now please take a couple of minutes to complete the questionnaire. This will allow us to see how you're getting on with the courses, and it will allow you to provide information to us on what you would like to see in courses in the future. Thank you again.